me and you are going to be in at the wedding, so we have to make everybody know. Hey, hey,
If you know we love you, we're only fun and only fun, only fun.
hey, no, no. See, not much fun. Not fun. That's serious business. No matter with that. No matter. No, hey, no. What happened? What happened is, T, about a week ago. She said, "Man, no, ruler, play me a gully bop." And the name gully bop, it just looked familiar, but I didn't have any song. I told her I was gonna try and find a song, but I didn't find a song. And come to find out, I had gotten a song on WhatsApp about a month earlier, and that's the one that went viral. So that's why I'm giving her credit. I'm giving her credit for exposing the gully bop thing to me because he just blew up within 4 weeks.
Wow, wow.
And I saw you put a note in the chat room that he was destined for something to happen to him. But before you explain that, just introduce yourself. And we're recording the show now. And this week's edition, the sixth edition of Higher Frequency. Take it away, my lady.
Good morning, everyone. Julie said explain a little bit of myself. That's what I wanted to do this morning. I wanted to start out with that. We're going to talk today about hoarding and Feng Shui. But before I got into anything, I just felt that I wanted to address who I am really. And who I am really is an eternal learner. By that, I mean I am a lifelong learner, a forever student. I look to learn, and I enjoy learning. That's why I said I love to read, because it fills me in a way that nothing else can. So that if I go to a teacher, because if we understand that we're all lifelong learners, we're also lifelong teachers. And so that if I go to a fellow teacher and I ask a question, if the teacher is in a place of love like I am, coming for guidance, he should never approach me with hostility or anger. I should always be received in the same loving manner that I came to. If you go to a teacher and you're not certain about something, if the teacher is smooth enough, he will walk and talk you around that topic to the point where you have circumvented the whole thing, inspected it. Not only have you learned it, but you've internalized it, and you didn't even realize it. So that's what I seek to learn and to be. So with higher frequency, it's just a series of segments to help people start thinking in a different way, in a more positive way. Not because I want you to, but because it has been proven that physically, emotionally, spiritually, there are benefits. You can be negative if you want, but there are no positive benefits in that, and that's been proven too. So for the scientists who need scientific proof of what a negative thought process and what a negative lifestyle will give you, you can go and look that up. There are millions and millions of documented examples of negative thought and life patterns, and it's called dis-ease. All these dis-eases that are going on are brought about by negative thinking and negative lifestyle, a life lack of love.
All right.
So
okay.
that's who I am. So we're going to talk today about hoarding because, well, for one, Rula had asked about Feng Shui a while back. And as we're coming to the end of the year, lots of people go about cleaning out their houses. You know, it's a symbolic time. They get ready for the new year, but a lot of people do it and don't really realize how powerful it is and how necessary it is. Not just at New Year's, but at various times in your life. What we tend to do is hold on to things. We hold on to old shoes. Oh, these are in style. I got to keep these. Old clothes. You can't fit them, but you're going to hold on to them because they look nice when you had them. Things like that. So that by the time you look, you've kept all these things and you've hoarded all these material items, and they're just blocked up in your closet, blocked up in your garages, blocked up in various different rooms. But what it's also doing is blocking the flow of energy around you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hoard, you're basically holding on.
Okay. And I continue because I have a question that I wanted to tie in.
Well, ask your question.
Okay. The question then is, when you speak of hoarding or Feng Shui, it clearly the obvious is you store material things, goods in your house, wherever. Is there a way of hoarding bad thoughts?
Well, that's the thing. We hoard all kinds of things, not just material things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Feng Shui deals with the physical hoarding.
I got you.
And so that's why I wanted to talk about hoarding and Feng Shui, because hoarding is not just physical material things. You can hoard negative thoughts. You can hoard negative emotions. You can hoard, yes. It's not just a material thing. And that's why it's dangerous.
Right, okay. All right, go ahead.
So like, there's also connections, they say, between what you hoard physically with what's going on with you emotionally.
Right.
Because depending on what you're hoarding, you could be holding on to that same thing emotionally, or the same types of thing. Maybe the shoes that you're holding on to, not only were they cute at the moment, but maybe you wore them to an event. And so you have some emotions that are tied into that event, but not necessarily to the shoes.
But let me ask you this, though. So is it a matter of you holding on to an item for a while, or is the fact that you holding on to that item and bringing on more of the same kind of items and a lot of items in your space? Because some people don't necessarily... Yeah, go ahead.
It's a combination of things, because, you can hold on to some things. Sometimes we have to hold on to things that we need. Christmas decorations, winter clothing, winter bedding. Some things are actually functional. Mm-hmm. So you have to, you can look at something and say, is this really something that's really useful? And start making determinations. Am I holding on to this because I really need it? Mm-hmm. Or am I holding on to it because I really love it? Does it make me feel good? Or am I just holding on to it for, some other bizarre reason? Mm-hmm. Accumulating is never good. You can hold on to a couple of things. Clearly, we need some things, but know that those things are not the emotion. We attach our emotions to these items, and that's what causes us to hold on. So that, when you're holding on to all these clothes, like I said, it could be that time period in your life. Maybe you want to hold on to the feelings of that time period when you wore those clothes, or when those clothes were in fashion, or these books. Or how many of us hold on to gifts or items from people that we know or love, and we don't even talk to anymore, or someone gave you a gift and you just feel guilty. You can't throw it away, and so you have your gift graveyard. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that have a gift graveyard, a Christmas gift graveyard, I call it. And those are the gifts that you get that you don't even know what to do with, but you can't throw it away because, emotionally, you feel like you have to keep it. And so what happens is, over the years, you have a collection of all these things, but it's not doing you any good because it's blocking your energy flow in your home. It's also blocking the energy flow in your mind, because every time you look at them, you attach yourself to those feelings. And really what it does is snap you back in time. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Because when you look at them, somewhere in your mind, it snaps you back because you have attached an emotion, a time, a sentiment to that item. So that it's almost like a totem. There was this movie, Inception. I don't know if you saw it. And they had these little totems. They were basically time traveling. But the totem was the one thing that they could look at that would bring them back, that they knew for sure where they were in time. Mm-hmm. So that it's the same thing with these items. We attach emotions and times and things to them. So we have to be careful what we're holding on to. When a relationship is over and you break up with the person, throw those things out. Maybe the clothes are nice. Maybe the jewelry is beautiful. Sell it. Give it to someone. Don't keep it. It has different emotions in your mind. It's not going to do you any good. Besides, you probably never wear it again anyway.
Okay, and I was just about to ask you the question then. what if someone doesn't really have a lot of money and constantly goes out and buy things, and they just want to, have say somebody give me a jacket 5 years ago, and I just wear that jacket once a year. What's wrong with keeping it for another 5 years?
Well, the thing is, if it's one jacket, okay. But if you have like 10 other jackets like that, then no, what are you really keeping it for? Can someone else use it more? I mean, you have to ask yourself, why are you really keeping it? And I'm not talking about one item. Understand that I'm talking about when you go to your closet, there's a difference. When you go to your closet and you can comfortably pick out what you need and everything is there, that's not a hoarded up closet. When you go to your closet and you have to crack it open 2 inches and peep in and pull something out, that's a hoarded up closet. So there's a difference. When you have jackets in your closet, jacket in the hallway closet, jacket in the garage, you have an abundance of jackets. And what you could do energy-wise is give them away. Because someone else can use them so that they're still in circulation, but it's not stuck in your home.
No.
So that you have to evaluate. At the end of the year, you go through and you look at your, socks. Some people accumulate socks. They hoard socks. They collect socks. But at the end of the year, most of them, the elastic is ripped, the toes are holes, they got little, but they won't throw them away because they say, well, I could fix this, I'll fix that. But the reality is that they're never going to fix it.
Well, let me ask you though, T. So where is the cutoff though? Because when do you know? Or when does the realization come about that, look, I'm hoarding things? And before you answer that, and by definition, say someone has a house and they have a garage and there's a whole bunch of stuff thrown out in the garage. You can't even walk through it like you said. Versus in your closet or in your living space. Is there any differentiation between those when you start to think of hoarding?
It's still hoarding. It's isolated hoarding, but it's a hoard. And so that in Feng Shui, what you would understand is that most of the garages of everyone's house is located in an area that has the energy ties to travel and helpful people. So that having the hoards also blocks the flow of energy. So you may think that the rest of your house is good, and the rest of your house may be good, and that's your little private hoarded stash, in the garage. And it's not going to affect anything. It affects everything. You have to think of it like a traffic jam. If your home was a highway, a freeway, and the energy was flowing, let's say in a clockwise pattern. The energy is flowing in a clockwise pattern. Now it gets to the garage, but it's hoarded up. So the energy can't go. What happens to that flow of energy? It gets stuck. So now it starts to bump back, because in a traffic jam, that's the same thing. When there's an accident, what happens? Everything starts getting backed up, and it keeps going. Not until people start moving away, but until the blockage is clear.
No,
go ahead.
I was going to also say, on one's workspace, on the desk, many times you go to one's workplace or even at home, even on my desk here. I mean, I like to see things clear, but sometimes my workspace on this desk here that I'm broadcasting from, you open up mails here, you open up CDs, and you don't put them back. And you are right. I can understand, because if you take those CDs and put them back where they're supposed to be, you see, when you're ready to find a song by Gully Bop, you'll say, wow, Gully Bop is right. You can find it. Isn't that true?
And it is true. And I guarantee you, on the days when your desk is cluttered like that, you can't really function clearly. Your thoughts are not in order. Things are a little more confusing, a little more chaotic, because the energy is not flowing properly. And that happens in a lot of businesses and a lot of offices. And so you look around and you say, but this business should be doing well. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But that one spot is cluttered and causing a blockage of the energy. And like I said, with the Feng Shui, depending on where the clutter is, it determines what it's blocking.
All right. Before you go on, before you go on to Feng Shui to clear the hoarding, explain the energy. You've probably done that many times while you're here. But for the listeners who are just tuning in for the first time, explain that energy that you're talking about that creates the movement, the levity. Explain what that energy and how it comes about.
The energy it doesn't come about. The energy exists. And it's like a frequency. Every matter has energy. Every item that we look at has a vibration. The energy is a vibration. It's movement. It's in everything. Even if you don't see it moving, you can look at a cup, but it has energy. That the vibration is what makes it a cup. The vibration of all the atoms together, stuck together, is what generates that, that cup, that physical cup. So that when you talk about energy, energy is in everything, in everywhere. It's in us. It's in the things around us. So with Feng Shui and practices like that, acupuncture, acupressure, those all deal with the various flows of energy, because within our bodies we have energy flowing. And it's just like I said, for the flow of traffic. If you were to imagine your body as an internal highway with all the body systems have their own paths. And those are what the Chinese call meridians. And so they travel the energy in certain patterns and in certain directions. And depending on how the energy is flowing, your body is going to function properly. So it's just like a rhythm. It's a pattern. It's a flow. And so the point is that you want to be harmonized with the energy all the time. And you can do it. You can do it physically, thoughts, and your energy like that.
T, you're breaking out. Your voice is breaking.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, your voice is printing through nicely. Just that it started chop here and there. But you're okay. Go ahead now. Okay,
so that you can change your thoughts. That's metaphysically. You can change your energy in your body physically with your diet. You can change the body, your body flow energy with acupuncture, acupressure. Those are all things that deal with the flows of energy. And so where Feng Shui comes into place is that it deals with the energy in your immediate environment. It can be in your bedroom. It could be in your office. It could be in your home. It could be your block.
All right. Empress T, hold your thoughts for a second. It's 48 minutes after. We're getting a little breaking up on the voice from Empress T, giving a presentation. Weekly presentation which takes place every Friday at 10:30 right here in Ruler Brown on the various network. A number of networks are carrying us right now. She's talking about hoarding, Feng Shui, and she has a little other tidbit she's going to add to it as she continues. 25th Century is in New York. He came into the chat room and he's carrying the show on his radio station to his listeners. He says his policy is, if I don't use something for 5 years, I throw it out. No, those things that are tangible that you move around physically is one thing. How about furnitures in one's house?
Well, nowadays, the furniture that we have is disposable. That's the first thing. It's very rare that you have really, really good hardwood pieces, but those are things that Feng Shui would say deals with elements. You wouldn't want to throw those out, especially if you don't have a whole bunch of them. You would want to take them different positions.
Empress,
can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up real bad.
Really? I'm sorry.
I don't know if it's the internet. It sounds like it's because you're speaking over Skype. So it sounds as though, do you have anything else open on your computer? I think something.
No,
okay.
Nothing at all.
Because that's.
In fact, my computer's not even on. I just have my just on the phone.
Okay. All right. So, and I know let me see. You're calling on a phone. You're calling on a phone line through. All right. Some hoarding is going on here with the bandwidth, but continues. Sorry.
Okay. Repeat the question. I'm sorry.
No, I was...
functional, okay, we were talking about functional items in the house. So that, like, if you have an old wood table, say your grandmother's old table or a table that you bought, wood is as one of the elements in Feng Shui. So you want to it somewhere strategically in your house. So it's not that you want to throw everything out. It's you want to look and assess, are you holding on to the item or are you actually using the item?
Sister T, I'm going to ask you a big favor. If you can just hang up and call me back, and I'll continue to ad-lib while you call me back, because it's getting real bad.
Okay.
And I don't want them to miss any of the thing you're saying. All right, folks. Yeah, we're gonna hear back from Empress T momentarily, because she's making some good point. I don't want us to not hear fully what she's saying. Again, she's covering hoarding as a back part of it, and the question is, how do you and what do you do to get rid of hoarding, with time? Like 25th says, look, in his place, if there's certain thing, a mug or shoes or anything that if he has for 5 years, he's gonna want to throw it away, because he thinks, look, it's just taking up space and blocking the energy, and after 5 years he throws it out. So what Empress T will do is say, look, man, this is how you deal with it. There's a thing called Feng Shui. All right, so continue there, Empress. I know you're back on. Hopefully we get a better reception. Go ahead.
How is this? Do I sound any better?
Yeah, the sounding is fine. What happened, it was breaking up. The signal was breaking up. So you sound great now. So hopefully it's cleared out. We've Feng Shui'd the the line, and you be able to hear properly. Go ahead now.
Yes. So what I was saying is that with Feng Shui, what you would do is you would look at 9 different life situations, so that's how you would determine really what you need to clear out. So let's say you have someone whose house is perfect, because there are some people whose house is absolutely perfect in their eyes and in your eyes. You go in, every single thing is in place, everything looks like it should be going, but their life is not going well, or their health is not going well. Maybe the money is not flowing in properly, or they might not be getting along well. There's something in their life that is not going the way that they want it, and that's where you would implement a cure. So Feng Shui believes that you can correct the different life situations that you're in by implementing cures. So it's not always that you need to throw things out. That's in terms of hoarding. But in terms of Feng Shui, it's more about placement and aligning yourself with the harmony in the home. So that, let's say if you're having troubles in your relationship, you will go to that area in your home and see what is going on in that area. Is it colorful? Is it bright? Is it dusty? Is it clean? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Could it use more of loving elements, which would be like you would need to put some more pink and red colors, or you know what I mean?
So no, clarify that though. You say in your home. You say if something is going on not so great in your life, you go to that place in your home.
Right. So that with Feng Shui, what they use is a map. It's called a bagua.
Oh, okay.
And this bagua is an octagon. And in the octagon, there are 9 specific areas, and each one of those correlates to a different life situation. So you have prosperity and abundance, you have fame and reputation, you have your relationship, marriage and love, you have creativity and children, you have helpful people and travel, your career and life path, skills and knowledge and wisdom, family, health, and all other situations. So those are the 9 categories on a bagua map. And you would basically place this map. You could, have it in your hand. And as you're walking into the front entrance, you must use it on the front entrance of your home. I have one posted on my Facebook page for anyone that wants to see it. It basically is a grid. Go ahead.
Is it on the Thara Jefferson, or is it on the higher frequency?
Empress T.
Oh, Empress T. Okay. I was going to see if I could actually access it and bring it up on camera. So
I'm wondering if I could send you one, but what it is that you would look at this grid, and as you're walking into your home, it would show you placement-wise where each of these categories are. So I'm going to send you one right now, Rula. And so with that, it's like a map. It's almost like a map if you could just give me 1 second. It's almost like a map of your home but it's according to the colors and the principles of the Feng Shui. All right, okay, one is coming to you right now.
All right.
And so what you would do is if you wanted to improve your career, let's say you have a job interview coming up, the career location is mostly by the front door of your home, so that you would look at your front door and make sure that the energy flow in that area is open and is moving. You want to accentuate it with the colors of career, which would be black and gray. You'd want to do things like that. So when you go to look at Feng Shui, it's the bagua, really, and you'd have to study each one and figure out where it is that you want to achieve a balance more in your life.
Okay, so let me ask you then. Are you saying then, myself, anyone that's listening, they set a goal, say within a year they want to accomplish certain things. The family sets a goal that, look, I want to accomplish XYZ in a certain time span. They realize it's not happening. So at that point, the Feng Shui idea should come into mind. So what they do, they reach out to someone who's an expert in this, and you have them into your home and they do the evaluation.
You can, or you can collectively together as a family look at the rooms in your home, and you can make changes within your own home on your own, because now you have the awareness of it. And once you're conscious of it, that's the first step in accomplishing anything. So now that you're conscious that you have these areas in your home, you would go to that area and you would make sure that that area in the home, the family area and the career area, or the family and prosperity, whatever it is, because it's always a combination, it's never usually just one, are in harmony. You would accentuate it with whatever elements go for that segment. If it's family, you would want to have some green in there. You'd want to have some earth in there as the element. You'd want to have, the elements and the colors that goes along with it. And along with that, you would go to each person's individual bedroom, because each bedroom has a Feng Shui flow too, so that every room in the family area should be in accordance. Everybody should have the same balance of elements that go toward it. It's really a balancing act, and it's supposed to be a lot of fun. So it's nothing that, oh God, we got to figure this out. It's tedious. It's supposed to be a lot of fun and uplifting. It's dealing with colors and elements, and the elements are like wood and metal, mirrors, fountains, things like that make you feel good when you see them in your home. And so again, it's tying into the whole feel good. When you feel good, your thoughts are good. When your thoughts are good, your actions are good. So it all ties in. What you're trying to do is be in harmony with your external environment.
All right, folks, I have up this Bagua map. It's a 3x3 matrix of this particular flow. An interesting thing I see here is it's random how it's spelled out in this 3x3 matrix to give 9 different and they call it aligned with the wall that contains main door entrance. Now on the monitor, I don't think you can see the writing there, but one observation here, Empress T, number 1, it says number 1 element is water, shape free form, body, ears, your kidney, your bladder, and creative cycle, a metal, destructive cycle, earth, and you must avoid that, and the color black, dark, and blue. And number 1, is there any way how they have the number 1 is way down the bottom, and I would tend to think they would have number 1 up the top left counting. Is there any way, or is it just random how they?
Well, it's actually not random. It is by design, and they also have affirmations that you can do. Each spot is placed strategically in accordance to the energy flow. This map is not really clear, as you said, but it doesn't go to what you think it should be, like, the career should be up top or the career should be here. It's just where they feel the flow of energy goes, so that one is down on the bottom, right. But then, like I said, they have these affirmation prayers that you do. And so you would start at 1, and then you would walk to 2, and then you would walk to 3. So that is the flow of energy that they believe is the ordained flow.
Gotcha.
But what we strive to do with when you use Feng Shui is to keep it all flowing and all balanced so that it can follow its own natural pattern. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand. And let me just run through the order here and just run through it. Number one is...
But listen, Ruler, the thing is that not to really see it so much as the order of number, because it's a balance thing. So it's not just by number. Yeah. It's also the element and thing. It's more a placement thing than a number thing.
Right.
So that if you read it or when you're embarking on it, it should be more like knowledge than career than helpful as you're going back. Rather than in order.
And that's what I was going to do, was to point out that the first one they talk about is career and work success. Then number 2 is love, marriage, and relationships. Number 3 is family relationships and core health. Number 4 is prosperity, wealth, power, and abundance. Number 5 is with
health and well-being in the middle.
Yes, health and well-being in the middle. Number 6 is helpful people travel. And number 7 is children, creativity, communication. And number 8 is knowledge, spiritual reality. And finally, number 9 is fame, reputation, and public health. So like you said, that's what you should focus on rather than the number. Because it's interconnected.
Focusing on what is going on in your life. What would you like to enhance? What would you like to improve? Sometimes you can go to an area and overdo it. So that, like, let's say you're trying to get your reputation and your public attention together. And so you go to that area and you look on the bagua and you see that, okay, well, the creative cycle needs wood and the element is fire and the color is red. Now you go to that area and you just flood it with red. And then you turn around and people start talking about you crazy and bringing up old stuff. And you're like, wait a minute, I just did this bagua. I don't understand. You know, I followed the bagua. I put all the right cures, but you overdid it so that people are talking, but it's not the right talk. So again, you want it balanced. So you wouldn't want to go and make it a completely red room. You want it in balance. You still want all the other elements present in that space as well. And you can do it just on your desk. Like, let's say you don't want to do your whole office. You could just sit at your desk and have a bagua in front of you. And remember, here it's showing it as a square, but it is supposed to be an octagon. But they just fill in the spaces because most rooms are either a square or a rectangle. And so you would just adjust it accordingly. But it's just the idea that the items are where they are. So you could do it on your desk. You put a bagua in front of you and place items strategically on your desk in accordance to the bagua. So that if you want to increase your prosperity, you would put something purple in that southwest corner of the desk. It could be a purple piggy bank. It could be a purple amethyst gem. It could be a purple wallet. Do you know what I'm saying? It just so long as it goes along with the color and the theme of the placement.
But let me ask you this now. If I were to, because I know my daughter says she brought someone in her home. She had bought this home up in New York there, and she had someone coming in and, exercise the Feng Shui, exercise here. Now, if I were to try and do this using the bagua map myself, will I get the same type of results than someone that you pay to come in to do this in terms of the efficiency of the results that one may get?
You can and you can't. It all depends on, what it is that you're seeking to change and, how much energy you put in it. Just because you pay someone doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily give you better results. What gives you the results is the knowledge and the energy that you put forth toward it. Everyone can't afford to pay a Feng Shui specialist to come to their home. And so what happens is then it becomes an additional stress because now you feel like, oh, I can't achieve these same results because I can't afford it. But it's not supposed to, always be about that. It's good efficiently wise because that person is trained to do it. They'll come in and say, well, put this here, put that there, do this, do that. But at the same time, sometimes when you do things for yourself, it's a deeper connection if you have the time and the opportunity to do it for yourself. It's a soul searching journey, and you can write it through and adjust it accordingly to the way that you want.
All right, Empress. SWA puts a question in the chat room. She has a daycare center, and I think the main room, I'm guessing, I don't know, the main room that all the activities for her kids are. She says she has blue in there. Is that good to use, or is it not good to use?
It all depends on where. In fact, it's funny because I do daycare in my home, and so my home, the whole downstairs is mapped out in accordance to Feng Shui. So I have the different activities, even their playroom, I have the different activities according to the bagua. But what she can do is look at the map, and so that when she enters the room, her main room, she wouldn't want too much blue. The blue is good. Blue is the color of skills and learning, so the blue is definitely good. But that she wants to balance it with other colors in the room so that the blue is not overshadowing.
But what if the wall is blue? You're saying offset that with breaking it up with other stuff.
Items, with other elements in the room.
Okay.
That she can balance it. She can counteract it with other items, so that if you have the walls blue, that's like I said, that's the elements for skills and learning. So that she would want to make sure that she has other elements in the room. She doesn't want all the same elements, because then it'll drown out the other aspects. You understand? It won't be balanced. I'm trying to look here exactly what she could balance it with, like
she have posters on the walls, for example. Maybe again, probably posters that tells you about ABC and so forth.
Right. Just make sure that she has a variety of colors, and that wherever she has them, it's in accordance with the bagua. The only way I can explain it is like for me, I put the children's kitchen center. I've mapped the playroom according to the bagua. So the kitchen center is in the family area. You understand what I'm saying? The blocks, the building blocks and things are in the career area. I have the books and things in the corner in the skills and learning. You get what I'm saying? So that I've pretty much followed the bagua in terms of placement of even their toys.
Okay. The question, which a lot of people out there are tuning in, they're probably thinking, and this is playing devil's advocate. I followed the bagua map to a T. I've thrown out some of the stuff out of my house. And in Jamaica, we use the word crosses. And crosses still follow me. You're not making any headway. No progress is being made.
It's not just only throw out. It's also add in. You want to achieve a balance. So it's not just throw away. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to be in harmony with the elements, so that you can throw out too much. Sometimes you throw out too much. You need all of the other elements as well. You need some. Go ahead.
No, and I understand that. I'm just saying though, and that's what I said. You
and
follow.
I'm answering the question.
No, and I'm just saying though, we follow.
That you want to enhance. You want to enhance. You want to now start doing cures. So that if you feel like you're getting followed by ghosts of bills or money, then you want to go to that area and enhance it and make it in harmony, so that you can have a better energy flow for money and dispel that negative energy, because that's what those ghosts and demons are. That's negative energy. And also in your mind, you can't approach it with it's not going to work, because it's not going to work. You have to approach it open and be welcome to it. Another thing with Feng Shui, when I first did Feng Shui and Feng Shui'd my house, I thought it wasn't working because so many horrible things happened. I was like, this can't be working. But what it was doing was ridding my life of all the negative experiences, all the negative relationships, all the negative ties. And while I thought it was devastating, it was a cleansing and a clearing. And so sometimes it's a matter of perspective. You have to allow things to happen the way that they're going to happen. It may not happen all good depending on what type of ties they are. So that for this person who says, well, I cleaned out everything and the things are still following me, let them follow you. Let them do what they have to do to get you to the next step.
I understand. I understand the reasoning there. And I understand the logic.
Yeah, like I said, when I first did it, but when I look back in retrospect, yeah, all those things happened in accordance to what I was asking for. I wanted new ties, new loving friendships, loving more affinity, more positive harmony in my work area, things like that. And so many clients left, and I was like, well, this is not helping me. I'm losing money. But it helped me because it got rid of all those negative business relationships. And I was able to be more relaxed in my job, and the people that were there for the love and the care and the nurturing, they were now able to get it because I didn't have to deal with the negativity. So sometimes things that look bad are not always bad. It's for a purpose. It's a clearing out, a cleansing.
Right. Yeah, I can see that, because sometimes you go through a negative or a bad experience with someone. It's a way for you to reflect and look back and say, something, get rid of that. And hence it will clear the path for something positive to happen down the road.
Exactly. And also with our bodies, we hold on to negativity too, with our food, with our diet. Like I was saying, we need to do a routine colon cleanse. You've got to clean your colon out. It's the same type of hoarding. It's the same type of holding on to negativity.
No, okay. As you go there and mention colon cleansing, people are hearing you. They're probably going to be asking, what can they do naturally? How can they be proactive to do some of those things? Some of the things they eat, some of the things they should not eat. Go ahead. I don't know if.
Again, with that, you can go online. The one thing that is beautiful about the time that we live in now is that you can research things for yourself, so that you can find the method that is going to work for you. Everything is not going to work for everybody, but there are some very basic items that we can use from time started. Garlic, ginger, apple cider vinegar. Those are the things that are cleansing and detoxifying. Aloe. Those are the things, if you go online, you can read how much you can drink. Teas, water. Those are the things that flush out your system. Sometimes you just need fiber, additional fiber. But the point is to cleanse out your system. Make sure that you are having steady bowel movements. Make sure your bowel movements are not hard or little dry rock terry pebbles coming out. That means your system is dried out. Hydrate yourself. Look at your stools. Be in connection with your body. Look at your stools. I know some people might think that's gross, but how are you going to know what's going on inside if you don't look at what's coming out? You know what goes in, but how many of us really examine what's coming out?
Yeah. And that is true, because I know Mr. Tony Ryan, I've heard him mention on Clinton Lindsay's show, stuff like his stool, stuff like gas. Typically, if you're eating healthy, you're not supposed to smell anything.
No. And typically, if you're really eating healthy, the goal is to have light-colored stools that float.
Right.
Because if they're not floating, that means that they are laden with fat. Okay? So that they're supposed to be light-colored, they're supposed to be light-textured. One log is not supposed to be little pebble. So that when you see those types of things, you say, okay, now let me start troubleshooting. First thing you want to do is water. Water does a body good. Water does a body good. Then after you add water, get a lemon. Squeeze some lemon in that water. Now you're adding in some other powerful elixir. So now you've got the water and the detoxin, the detox of the lemon. So now you're adding that to your system. Now that's going through your intestines. Everything's going to start to flow a little better. You start loosening up the fecal matter. And once your body is flowing good, everything starts flowing good. It's just like I said, if you can vision your body and your life like traffic patterns, you know what happens when there's a crash or there's a blockage. Everything gets blocked up. So that if you have a pain in your arm, start investigating. Look up and down. What's going on? What is stopping the flow of energy to that part in your body? If your intestines are not flowing and flushing out properly, you're going to get obese, you're going to get digestive issues, you get skin acne, things like that, eczema, things start to happen, allergies, all those things develop from inside. And again, those are forms of hoarding that come from not cleansing properly. We've got to clean out our bodies, clean out our homes. It's the same thing.
Let me answer this now. Take a little time. It's 11:15. Hopefully we can wrap it up in 10 minutes or so. Take a little time, and if even 11:30 doesn't make a difference, we'll carry it as far as you can take us. Alkalinity and acidity in your body. Where's the balance? Where's the balance? So how will one know, or how should one know? Can they go and buy a certain strip, put in their tongue, and test the acidity or alkalinity in their body? Because typically you want it to be basically neutral, not too acidic, and I guess not too alkaline. Can you talk a little about that?
I don't know as much about it as probably you would want me to know, but I do know that with all this modern medicine, they do have tests to test the alkalinity. But there's other ways you can know for yourself. You'll know by breath, by your skin, feel, and touch. There's ways that you can know if you're alkaline or not alkaline. And again, like I said, there's a wealth of information on the internet where you can go. But in terms of like balancing alkalinity, I know that one of the good items is apple cider vinegar, and I know that we had spoke about it before, and you were saying how is it that something that's acidic can promote alkalinity, and basically I did research it, and basically it's the way that it synergizes with the other elements in your body, so that by itself, yes, it's acidic, but with all the other fluids, it turns into something else. Right. And so, a lot of these things have to do with the synergy, so that even if you were to dissect them and piece them out, you can't really understand how they work together. Right.
All right, folks, it's 17 minutes after the hour. Again, we're speaking with Empress T with a weekly presentation on high frequency, and she's covering hoarding, Feng Shui, and touching a little stuff here and there. All right, continue. If you have any additional stuff you want to have here, and then we can wrap it up with any additional stuff. I think I saw where you mentioned something about Kwanzaa. I don't know if you want to touch that or, any...
Yes, I wanted, finally what I wanted to say is that for the new year, look at how your past year went. If you can use more love in your life, look at the bagua, go to that part of your home and see what's going on in there. See if you could add something that will enhance the love in your life or in your bedroom in that area in the love department. If you want more money in your life, see what's going on in that area in your home. And if you're not even sure if your life was good and you just want to keep it going that way, make sure you don't have stuck energy. Clean up. Someone said they keep stuff for 5 years. Nowadays, with the way life has been, the pace of life now, 5 years might be too long, so that you might be able to see if you're keeping it even 3 years. Nowadays, we hardly use the things that we have. People have closets full of clothes, but we have that one uniform that we're pretty much comfortable in, the one or two outfits that we really wear, so that you can circulate it. You can still give it function and purpose by giving it to people that don't have. Like you said, the Hosea, feed the people. Donate. Keep the stuff in circulation, but in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? In a good way, in a useful way, so that it's not just stuck in your home. It's doing you no good in your home. You want the energy to flow well. As we're coming into the new year, this is a good opportunity to set yourself up for prosperity next year, for love, for good career, for any changes that you may be looking forward to. You can do it. You have the power between your own thoughts on the inside and your living environment on the outside. You can, really empower yourself.
All right, let me ask you this question then. As I look around in where I'm at here in the studio, I have a shelf, a huge bookshelf that has many books there. Some of these books, some of them from me, do my bachelor's degree donkey years ago, and so forth and so on. Do you take the same approach, same attitude if you have books at home? What's the story there, though?
with the books, I would more make sure that they're in the placement of the skills and learning in my office, so that it would be like a library corner.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that flow of that energy is going. So that it's not it's not trash books, it's not negative books.
Mm-hmm.
Books and learning are always positive and good, but you don't want them interrupting the flow, so that you wouldn't want a pile of books in the middle of the floor.
Right,
that's
right.
not good energy.
Right.
But if you're walking into your office, you would want those books somewhere in the left-hand corner, in the furthest left-hand corner of the room. Make that your library corner if possible.
Mm-hmm.
So that you're not getting rid of it, because like I said, it's not always about the get rid of. Sometimes it's just about the placement of it, where it
Right.
is. Is it conducive to the flow of energy in that room? Is it conducive to the flow of energy in your home? So there's where you have the different numbers and where they're all located.
Mm. All right.
Now I wanted, if I could, Ruler.
Yeah, go ahead.
SWA, and I had a little brief conversation. I wanted to know if we could bring her on to talk a little bit about Kwanzaa, so that we stay in the spirit of family and community. For,
Yeah, well, if she wants to call in, certainly. The number here is 770-744-2154, 770-744-2154. If she feels like calling and have a dialogue, certainly. So yeah, go ahead, continue talking until if SWA calls in. And again, folks, it's 22 minutes after the hour. We're speaking live, a weekly presentation. A powerful idea came about 6 or so weeks ago. She took me up on it, and guess what, folks? It's happening. All right, folks, we're going to go to the phone line now. We have SWA. SWA, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm not sure if we have a good connection. Is that?
Yeah, the connection
I'm hearing
is
a lot of static.
Yeah, no, the connection is fine. Want to say season's greetings to you. Happy Kwanzaa, happy Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, everything. Yes, apparently you had some dialogue with Empress T, and you guys thought about see if you can marinate the discussion here and let the folks know what you guys were talking about. Empress T, take it away, and then you can actually rally back to SW and hear what you guys want to cover there. Go ahead.
Well, actually, SWA was going to cover it, but we thought it was good to highlight a little bit about Kwanzaa, because it is an alternative for some people for Christmas, and for others it's not just an alternative but a continuation, because it just keeps the idea of being together and family and community going for longer than just one day. So,
Yes.
SWA?
Yes, okay. I'm a bit shy, so I'll give it a go. Kwanzaa was created by Dr. Maulana Karenga as an African-American, Pan-African holiday, and it's to introduce and reinforce 7 basic values of African culture. And usually during Kwanzaa, we start off with a call and response. So we start the day by saying a barigani. And a barigani basically means, what's the news, what's happening? And the reply would usually be the principle of the day. So today's principle for the first day of Kwanzaa is umoja.
Umoja.
And umoja means unity. And with that principle, it's to strive for and maintain unity with the family, community, nation, and race. And there are 7 days of Kwanzaa for the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. And it usually lasts until, I think, is it New Year's or New Year's Eve?
Yeah, December 1. Yeah, either or. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And the second principle is Kuji Chakalia. I'll just do the first 3. The second principle is Kuji Chakalia, which is self-determination, which means to define ourselves, name ourselves, and speak for ourselves instead of being spoken for by others. The third day is Ujima, collective work and responsibility to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and solve them together. So basically, it's just another alternative instead of the commercialism of Christmas. You do Kwanzaa, and it's a nice way of even for young children, I think, is something I used to do in the classroom. I used to teach my children. And if my daycare children are old enough, I teach them the principles because it's good to have these basic values.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, Empress T, you've heard the front end part of the discussion with SWA concerning Kwanzaa. What would you like to add to what you've heard, or explain or drill down into?
Just look it up, people. Lots of times we take things at face value and we reject things out of not knowing. We reject things out of holding on or hoarding, if I may, to old ideas and impractical practices. So that, okay, Kwanzaa was not something way back, but if we look back, all the principles of it, the practice of it is something that goes way back. Getting together as a family is something that we've always done. That's the thing that's missing. What is great about Kwanzaa is that it's a family and a community celebration, and it's a strengthening and empowering of the family, the self, and then the community. So it's back to that principle of that spiritual connectivity. And it's important to teach our children these principles because they're not learning them in school. They're not learning them in the music. They're not learning them on TV. We have to instill these principles, and this is a great and fun way. Along with it are the gift making. We don't buy any commercial gifts. The gifts are made, and each night you come together and gifts are exchanged, and they're usually homemade gifts to different family members. And as you go along each day, you can add on more people in the community so that it becomes a community event. And you light the candles, you go over the principles, and like she says, there's a call out. Everyone says Habari, the lead says Habari Ghani, and everyone collectively says whatever is the principle for the day. And so that it's a family thing. It's very warm, it's very loving, and it's very necessary. We need to stop bickering about this Jesus, that, and get to the essence of what it's all about, and that's being spiritually connected, community and family overall.
All right, SWA, with you and your students at your daycare, do you introduce it to them, and at what age? And if you do, is it that thing that they may not understand it, or if you were to do so, how tenderly do you talk to them about it? And those parents, and also the parents, when they come in, you might say to them, "Oh, by the way, we're doing Kwanzaa this week," and try and see if you can do you do any of that?
Well, what I usually do is I set up the symbols. I use a kinara, which is the candle holder, and that's how I introduce it to the kids, just through visualization. I set up like a Kwanzaa table, and they're like, "Oh, what's this?" And I'll explain. It's we're celebrating Kwanzaa. And then I also read stories, and we do lots of songs also about Kwanzaa for them. And then they'll go home with the songs, and the parents will ask questions as to what is it that they're singing. Because it's also a good way to teach another language, Kiswahili. So we go through a lot of the Swahili words, and I think it's
fun,
very good, for them. And then they'll if they remember, they'll take it on with them throughout life.
No. And if I could just interject, Rula, the reason why they will remember and do remember is because of the love. They may not remember the words, but they'll remember the tone and the feeling and the unity of it.
Right.
No, and like she said, they might remember the melody of the song and not the words, but they remember how it felt, and so that's what we were promoting. It's going to be remembered because it's love filled. Remember the oxytocin. It can't help but resonate with the kids. It's really good. It's a lot of fun.
All right, let me ask you this now, Empress, and I'll get back to you, SWA, regarding the mount. And I see here some language that says that it says it's an African American and Pan African holiday celebrated by millions throughout the world African community. Kwanzaa brings a cultural message which speaks to the best of what it means to be African and human in the fullest sense. Given the profound significance of Kwanzaa as for African American and indeed the world's African community, it is imperative that an authoritative source and site be made available, an accurate and expansive account of its origin. Let me ask you this, Empress T. Do you think, well, not do you think, do you think that as far as African Americans, do you think they need to get more into the practice of this event, or you think it's missing from many of our lives, and that probably explains why some of the problems we're having?
I think, well, for me, I've already transcended the color thing. So for me, I don't do things or judge things or rate things according to, is it for black people, is it for white people, is it better for, for this or that. For mankind, it's what's needed. We have lost our connection. We've lost our connection spiritually, and we've lost our connection to each other. If this is going to bring about a connection in the community and a connection in the family, I'm all for it.
Right.
I don't get caught up in the rhetoric of the name of it. I don't care what you call it. If you want to call it Kwanzaa, call it Kwanzaa. If you want to call it bliggity-blee, call it bliggity-blee. As long as the practice, the essence of it is not lost, that's all I care about. So for me, it's something that we need in mankind. All the troubles and ills that are going on in the world are because we're not connected. It's live wires. Nobody is grounded anymore. Because they're so caught up in the rhetoric. Oh, we can't because that's Christian. Oh, this is Catholic. Oh, this is that. Oh, that's Kwanzaa. That's new. That's fake. What is fake about being together? What is fake about teaching our children the principles of life? What is fake about that? If you don't like the name of it, don't call it that. But the principles are still going to be the principles, regardless of what you call them.
Very true.
All right, Empress. Just any quick reaction or response to that statement? SWA. Sorry. Yeah, SWA. I just want to follow up. Yeah, sorry. SWA.
No, well, I know being in the public schools in New York, I mean, Kwanzaa is very embraced by all cultures, I think. I think a lot of the teachers like teaching that particular topic. And there are a lot of, well, we don't want to use a commercial products, but a lot of videos and songs based around the Kwanzaa theme for children. So I think it's, a cross-cultural holiday for anybody.
Right. All right. Empress T, I'm going to turn it back to you, and then you can summarize what you've talked before and also the Kwanzaa. As a matter of fact, let me give Empress, I'm sorry, because both of you are, let me give SW.
You know what it is, Rula? Yeah. You know why you're tripping up? Because the two of us are kindred spirits. And when you talk to her, you're talking to me, and when you talk to me, you're talking to her. And that's because we are spiritually connected. So just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We know who you're talking about.
Yeah, SWA. Just wrap it up from here, and then I'll turn it over to Empress T to wind it down. So just take it from here in terms of any additional information you want to put forward to this, and then we'll let Empress T take it out and wrap off the 1 hour talk. Go ahead.
Well, basically, just for people to really look into Kwanzaa as an alternative to Christmas, instead of the commercialism and getting wrapped up into all of the buying. Kwanzaa is a great holiday, especially for children, young, old, and it's something you should really look into. And at the end of the Kwanzaa celebration, there are zawadi, which is usually homemade gifts as opposed to commercially made gifts.
Okay, so. Great. That I love the segment, and hopefully the listeners out there will take away something from this. And I certainly want to thank SWA, the first time you turned a superstar now, being heard all over the globe.
Empress pushing me.
Not pushing, pulling, honey, pulling. Pulling. It's a whole different energy. See, I had to pull you in.
All right. So Empress, so SWA, thank you so much for that. I'm gonna turn it over now to Empress T. And Empress T, if you want to keep SW on the line to have a final chit chat, go ahead. If not, Empress T, if you want to hold on, I mean, SW, if you want to hold on, just do what he thinks best. So, Empress T, take it away.
I just want to say thank you, everyone, again, for your time and for, for the exchange of love here. This, doing these segments has just brought me a lot of extra love, and with it, I am radiating even more love, if that was even possible. But that, like I said, I'm an eternal learner, so I'm not here to be hostile or agitate anyone. I'm here to learn and share as much as possible. I was taught to be a thinker and to question and to, understand what's going on. I've taught my children that. They are not people that are going to take things at face value. If it doesn't resonate with them, they're going to ask why. And we all should. We have to stop, taking things at face value. Turn off the autopilot and live.
All right. I don't think you can say it any better than that. So nice way to wrap it up. Live. And that's my mantra. That's my philosophy. That's why I practice. I mean, I agree, wholeheartedly with most, maybe 99% of the stuff you say. Because guess what? I feel it. I know it. When I go out there and live and reach out and do the right thing, you feel good. And people get up these days and into this negative stuff, and they backbite you, and they're in some high level ego, and it just makes things worse.
Mm-hmm.
The hoarding of these bad energies really just make it bad for you. And we certainly want to thank SWA and Empress T with a weekly edition of thing we call higher frequency. Thank you all right?
Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.